In its first full season, Dirt Racing in the Bluegrass Live reached over 2 million people. Crazy if you think about it. We see this as more than just a podcast. It's a movement to bring the spotlight to the tracks, racers, and fans of Kentucky dirt racing. We've got a lot to talk about and a lot of people to talk to. This is Kentucky's Dirt Racing Podcast. Welcome to another edition of Dirt Racing in the Bluegrass Live, presented by Bluegrass Restoration and Construction.
And welcome into a brand spanking new edition of Dirt Racing in the Bluegrass Live here on Facebook, YouTube, wherever you're currently watching this.
Spotify, Apple Podcast.
Yeah, well, they can't watch it on Apple Podcasts and Spotify now, but they can listen to it there later. So
later,
yeah. If you're listening there later, it's too bad. You could be seeing Wes in his mansion, and so we have fun with people on here. Yeah, seeing their comments and really enjoy doing this live show. Being able to interact with the fans and all that stuff. And think about it, man, it'd be hard to just sit here and talk to ourselves. We get in here on Facebook and get to talk back and forth with people, and so it's just a whole lot of fun. This is the Wilson Plumbing Studio, or good buddy Robbie Wilson over there. Be sure to give him a call for all of your plumbing needs. He'll take good care of you. That you can call, please do so. You can call the Absolute Seamless Gutters hotline, 859-412-1287. Be sure to give them a call for all your seamless gutter needs. We talked a few weeks ago about what a seamless gutter was, and Wes assured me I had seamless gutters on my house. I don't know if he's right about that, but hey, give them a call. They'll take good care of you. So, a lot to talk about here tonight on the show. Really excited about it. Just going to be another fun show, man. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too, buddy. This weather's crazy outside, but we're in here. It's dry, and we're on another episode of Dirt Racing in the Bluegrass Live. So, just ready to get the show started, buddy.
Yeah, man, me too. Going to talk Crown Vics. Man, that's I hate it for everybody else, but that's my new favorite class. Love the Crown Vics. We're gonna talk about them a whole bunch here tonight. So this is like a show that's just commemorated. This is my show, man. This is all for me. Even if nobody else cares or wants to listen, this is all for me right here, man. I get my one hoorah, I guess, once a year. And so we get to talk about Crown Vics. No, in all seriousness, we're going to have Tyler Kelley and Brad Fields on here with us in just a minute. And so really looking forward to that. They're a whole lot of fun to watch, and just kind of want to get into some of the into the meat of starting a new class and trying to keep it on the right track, which I imagine is a very difficult thing to do.
Yeah, it's exciting to have Crown Vics coming down to our local tracks, seeing the success that Brownstown's had with them, and then also Florence. So they're making their way down, I guess you'd say down 75 coming this way. And cool to see them at our tracks. And I know that this class is just going to continue to grow with a lot of people still building those cars, and just really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I know, man. And you're right. I guess they are slowly kind of making their way down I-75. Yeah, you're right. I mean, Florence has been up there. They've been running them for a few years now and had a lot of success with that. And it's funny, I was I don't know if I've told this before, but I go to Kevin's barbershop and get my hair cut, and I was sitting there one day and talking to him, and I was like, man, you know what you need to do? You need to start a Crown Vic class. And he's like, you mean like the police cars? And I was like, yeah, man, like the police cars. You need to start Crown Vics, I'm telling you. And he's like, oh, okay. I was like, no, I'm serious. Check them out. If you don't listen to me about anything else, start Crown Vics, and so it kind of started from there, and they talked about it there for a while, and eventually ended up adding them there at Rockcastle. Of course, Lake Cumberland runs them now as well, and Richmond's going to have them for the first time this weekend. So, yeah, it's definitely a good thing. Well, the weekend recap, Wes, not a whole lot to recap. But just to be honest with you, Thunder Mountain was the one that was able to get an event in this past actually Sunday. They ended up running it. So the weekend recap, not a lot of events to recap, but at least we do have the one down there at Thunder Mountain. You went Saturday.
I did, and I was I was wanting to watch a race so bad, and it was mine and Sherry's anniversary, and so got off from work and got her and headed that way. Dang, it basically rained from Campbellsville all the way to just a little bit past Somerset, and then it quit. It was dry, and the sun was out, and I was like, all right, this is going to be good. So we get to the track, we get everything going. Hot laps qualifying is underway, and then a good little shower comes through, and it just stayed right over the track and just rained hard, and you could see the sun was, behind it, but rained. Ultimately, too much rain to get the track worked in and get the show in. So I hated that for everybody at Thunder Mountain. We had a great night still, just for the couple hours that we was there.
You were in there 30 minutes before it started raining.
Not long at all.
Yeah.
I mean, we drove real hard to get there, and got there and started seeing people and talking, and just an awesome field of cars. I think they had 33 or 34 crates on hand. I think 15 modifieds. All in all, like 91 cars on the grounds, and just a great field. And then Mother Nature had other plans, unfortunately, but glad for them and the drivers and everybody that they was able to get the race in on Sunday.
Yeah, definitely glad they were. I was just going to say, there's a little thing called a radar. If you'd have pulled it up, you'd probably seen that. What I saw was that it was going to start raining on you 30 minutes after you got there, and it wasn't going to stop. I could kind of see that. I was, man, I hated it though, really, because it kind of popped up there, late on them, and waited till right at qualifying time to get to decide to start raining. And so just a really tough deal with them. It always cracks me up. Wes's response to rain on race day is like, or just a race getting rained out, it's like just a purely race fan's response. It's just like, that pisses me off. It rained. Why is it raining? Why'd they have to? And I'm like, Wes, it's raining, honey. It's it happens. Races get rained out. It'll be okay. We'll move on and race next weekend. But it is funny. Your response is just like a purely race fan response to rainouts. It ain't good.
Oh, I hate it. And I've been a part of two so far in the early 2024 season. One at Ponderosa, and now the one at Thunder Mountain. But yeah, it does. It pisses me off. I mean, it'd be beautiful all week, and then Saturday rolls around or Friday rolls around. What's it decide to do? Pour the rain.
I know, man.
So yeah, I've definitely got the typical race fan response. But
yeah.
Anyway, man. Hopefully, fingers crossed, toes crossed, everything that we'll have good weather for this weekend.
Yeah, hope so. That's what we're shooting for anyway. I tell you what, it's been tough on a mobile detailer this week. Just man, it's because it'll be sun shining, and then like 5 minutes later it's pouring the rain, and just trying to battle through all that this week, and so that's been no fun. So yeah, definitely no rain's what I'm shooting for on the weekends, at least. If I can't make money, at least I could spend it on the weekend. That's kind of that's kind of the goal. But and then Sunday though they did get the show in, so a lot of perseverance there for them, hanging with it there. And being able to get that show in. Jimmy Owens was down there in the modified. It was really cool. And I know a lot of those modified guys had a whole lot of fun just being able to say that they raced with Jimmy Owens. That's a pretty cool thing. I'll have to say myself that'd be a pretty cool thing just to be able to say you raced against Jimmy Owens. And if you're Josh Hampton, you beat him, so that'd be
right. Yeah. Well, and we got to say that he didn't roll in, and Josh and those other drivers, they defended their home turf well, and didn't let Jimmy take that trophy back to Newport, Tennessee.
No, they certainly didn't, and so, but like I said, that was just a really cool thing to see, and glad to hear that they had so many cars down there, and they, like I said, they stuck with it. They held out Sunday, and got the event in. So happy for them, and just good to see that all around for sure. But yeah, that is your weekend recap.
That's
the
it.
one and only.
And the place was packed. I mean, just you had fans everywhere. You had race cars everywhere. Just beautiful. And I thought we're gonna get this in. This is gonna be a great night of racing. And like I said, unfortunately, the rains came and they stuck around longer than they should have. And but so glad that they got it in on Sunday. And going to give a shout out to Crazy John Sandlin, because he came down and put that on Facebook Live. So it's good to get to watch it, even though I couldn't get to go back on Sunday. So I was happy to be able to watch it at the house here, and thankful to him and what he does. Just a cool deal.
Yeah, no, I'm with you for sure, and so yeah. Well, I think that's the thing that makes two straight rainouts. I think you just pulled up at Ponderosa, and the event they had to call that one, and then you're there no time at Thunder Mountain. They had to call that one. So many more rainouts, man. We're gonna have to ask you to stay away for a few weeks just to get some events in. So,
at least let them get the hot laps starting or heat races. I mean, heat races start, then I can walk in.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you can't walk through the gates till heat races start. So, all right, let's take a quick commercial break here, and we'll come back and talk some Crown Vics.
Hi, I'm Chris Lowry with Bluegrass Restoration and Construction. From simple service work to full paints, roofing, flooring, and everything in between, we're your one-stop shop for your home maintenance and remodeling needs. Our family has been serving the Richmond area for 3 generations, and we're proud to continue that today. You also voted us the best general contractor in Madison County in 2022. We thank you for that honor. Give us a call for all your construction needs at 859-353-1133.
All right, welcome back to Dirt Racing in the Bluegrass Live. We're now joined by Tyler Kelley and Brad Fields. Lucky 7 Motorsports, the Crown Vic Series. I messed that all up. I didn't write it down. Don't have it in front of me. It's called something like that. We'll go with it and do the best we can. But this guest segment is brought to you by Fast Track Plumbing. Be sure to give our good friends at Fast Track Plumbing a call. They'll take care of all your plumbing needs. Wes says it all the time, but when it comes to something to do with your home, we've got you taken care of here.
We got you covered from one end to the other.
That's exactly right. We've got you. We've got you covered. We'll also make this our driver of the week, or drivers of the week. We got 2 of them on here with us, and the driver of the week is brought to you by. I didn't write that down either, Wes. Who sponsors our driver of the week? I'm way off here.
He's on the struggle bus tonight.
I'm on the struggle bus.
Wayne's Auto Repair.
Wayne's Auto Repair, driver of the week. Yeah. Man, I got a lot to keep up with here. You know, I mean, it's just a lot going on. Just you just sit there and look pretty in your mansion while I try to take care of business here and do the best I can.
But I help you. I come in there and pull you out of those situations you like to get in. And, make it right.
You do. I'm with you. I'm glad to have you. Well, what would I do without you, for sure? Well, guys,
I don't know.
Yeah, I know, guys. It's good to have you on here. I appreciate you joining us. Brad, I talked to you earlier. I know you said this wasn't your strong suit here with technology.
It is definitely not. We've been on the struggle bus ourselves for about the past hour and a half trying to figure all this out.
Tell them out there, it ain't that easy, is it, Brad?
It's not.
We're like you guys in race cars. We make it look easy. It ain't as easy as we make it look, though. So.
No, we don't make it look easy. We have screw ups all the time, Josh.
Yeah.
He entered to a tablet, and I was surprised he knew how to do that.
Yeah. We've got one device pulling internet from another device. There's a lot of that.
Sounds like it for sure. I would, like I said, I wanted to bring you guys on here and just talk about Crown Vics. I want to talk about your racing as well. But the newest thing right now is that Crown Vic series and just the Crown Vic class overall. I'm curious though. Something that came up at the beginning of the year with the new thing that you guys are doing there with Rockcastle, Richmond, and Florence. How did that come about? Because it's a really cool thing that you're doing.
Well, me and Tyler had the idea for this class. We've seen Florence run it. We have some buddies that run Florence. Been running Florence for several years.
Mm-hmm.
So we just kind of wanted to get it established here. Something fun, cheap, affordable.
Yeah.
There is no affordable racing anymore. It's not.
Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah.
But Tyler I'm actually going to let him speak on that. He is actually the one who spoke with Bill at Richmond and actually got this whole thing going. So he can tell you more about that.
So him and I know Rockcastle, they both said that, they were going to have Vicks this year. And I just, kind of made a joke. I was like, how awesome would it be to have a series across, a few tracks that everybody can run Vicks and run for like a points system. And I commented that on there, and Bill was like, PM me. He's got the knowledge for, the series and stuff. So I got with him, and he worked magic. Literally the next day, he was like, how does this look? You guys can come on as a presenting sponsor, and, we'll try and find a good tech man. And we got lucky on that. We got a guy that really knows cars and knows racing and knows how it is, and so, I mean, a lot of the credits to Bill, and then Dwayne and Kevin both jumped on, and then Bill talked to Josh at Florence, and he was like, yeah, I'm down. So we got like because the way I was thinking of it, we got buddies that run Florence. That's an hour and a half from Richmond. Yeah. And we got guys down south that are, far from Florence. Why not, if you run at any of the three tracks, you get points towards the series. Mm-hmm. So it's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, from that aspect, it's really similar. Honestly, seems to me like from what I've seen on it, it's really similar to like UMP regional points, that sort of thing, where guys can pick up points from any track that's sanctioned, I guess you might say, by the Crown Vic series. And only a certain number of total events, though, go to the points. So it helps guys out to where, you don't have one guy running 30 shows a year and he just ends up winning the point at one track, and he ends up winning the points because he ran 30 races, whereas everybody else ran 10. So it really is a good thing, because you're not pulling cars away from any track. Anybody can go run anywhere, but they also have a chance to run for this. And so it's a good opportunity for drivers too.
Yeah, that was another big thing, is we didn't want to kill car count at track by running a point series at a certain track this week. But, this track was running Vicks this week, but you couldn't run points. That took car count from that particular track. So it's like this weekend with Richmond and Florence being able to run together. You have your choice, either track, and there's going to be 2 firsts, 2 seconds, and those points they add up. And there's so much diversity in that the points can change quickly, very quickly.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, I think it's a great thing. I mean, I think a traditional series for a class like this, like an entry level class, would not be a good thing when you're thinking about following the series all over multiple states and pulling cars away and that sort of thing. But the way you guys have this set up is really a good thing. The same rules within those tracks and sort of gives everybody a better opportunity. If Richmond and Rockcastle aren't running this week, or Lake Cumberland's off, whatever, you go up to Florence, you can go up to Florence and race. You can go to where, it really makes it to where it's a good thing for the racers and the tracks, both. Nobody loses in that scenario. So,
absolutely.
Talking about the necessity of keeping a class like this, because it's a great thing. It's an entry-level class. You talked about racing. There's no cheap racing. This doesn't exist. There's no easy way to do it. It's all expensive, but you can have an entry-level type class, a cheaper, easier to get into, easier for the guy that don't want to spend his retirement maybe on just trying to go to the racetrack and have a little bit of fun. Because I'm not one to invest my whole future into this. Man, I just want to go out and have some fun on Saturdays. And to me, that's what the Crown Vics can be. And guys like, your kids in it, Brad, and, things like that.
Yeah, I mean, that's really the only way that I am able to race side by side with my boy is in a Crown Vic. We can't afford, 2 super stocks, 2 mods, 2 late models, whatever the case may be. Not even front wheel drives at this point. The only way is in the Crown Vic class. Mm-hmm. And that means a lot to me. That's a once in a lifetime opportunity that most people's not ever going to have. Yeah. So I'm taking advantage of it while we can, and that's why we're pushing this class so hard. I mean, there's probably others out there that would also benefit from that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we were just adding up, before we got on here, like realistically adding up. And when he first, started talking VIX and the track started talking VIX, I was like, man, we got to get some. So then they were a little better price. You could find one, no title, ran good for $800 to $1,000. Now they've went up a little bit because it's getting out there,
So many people's looking for them.
Yeah, but we're still finding, if you find, on Marketplace, auctions, Copart, you find a Crown Vic, no title, got a dented fender on it, $2,000. Everybody's like, man, that's kind of steep. You pay $500 for your tubing for your cage. Mm-hmm. You pay, depending if you want a full containment seat or new or used, you're looking $300 to $700.
Yeah.
And then you got a good set of harnesses, a new set of harnesses.
$150.
Right then, you're under $3,500 in a car, and you're ready to hit the track.
Ready.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you can, and I pop a tire. I get on Amazon and I buy a tire for $60.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's what our sport here locally needed, Wes. That sort of opportunity for guys to be able to just go out and have fun racing without having to spend caution.
There you go, boys. Caution put up $50.
Is he saying for us to get beat? Is that what he's saying? Somebody to beat us?
No, if you win Saturday. If one of you
wins. I
wins.
thought you put $50 on my head.
Okay. I thought he was putting a bounty on him. He's like,
beats
these two.
He did. He did. Yeah.
That was the caution. That was the caution of the day. Be nice to everybody.
Be nice. Hey, I like seeing that,
Yeah.
I do too. We actually have a few guys that race with us that race late models.
Yeah.
And they've been running with us so far just for the cost of being able to get to the racetrack every single weekend and not I don't know what a tire costs for a late model nowadays, but I'm going to say $200.
I could buy a whole set of tires for a Crown Vic for what one tire costs for a super late.
Yeah, and I'm not down in other classes. If I had that kind of money, I would definitely be in.
Yeah,
but this is for the classes that this is the class for people who either, don't have that kind of money or don't want to spend that kind of money.
That, and I mean, I don't want him to get upset for me using him as an example, but Tim Littrell, I watched him as a kid drive the wheels off of open wheel modified. And the first week we raced at Rockcastle, like he's one of those guys I idolize. So seeing him with a Crown Vic, I was like, I don't know if I can be on the track with this guy, and, but I was talking to him and he was like, man, years ago, I was racing so much and putting so much time and effort in. It was like a job. And not just that, the cost of things nowadays. And again, cost in everything is just going to go up.
Yeah.
If you got love for the sport, you're going to do it regardless of what the cost is.
Right.
So I'm not knocking that, but the cost effective of this class is really, you got guys that race modifieds, guys that race late models, guys that race front wheel drives. We race front wheel drives, and I've lost way more in front wheel drives than I've won. And I can tell you, I could build 2 Crown Vics, if not 3, for what it costs to have a competitive front wheel drive.
Well, yeah. When I bought my 4-cylinder, that first, but it was that car was stock. I mean, it was stock. There was nothing about it that wasn't. And I thought, 4-cylinder would be a good place. I always wanted to race. 4-cylinder would be a good place to get in. I can go to Walmart and buy me a cheap set of tires, man. I'll be all right. Here we go, going racing. I won't be,
then you're getting
up front. And then I'm like, damn, man, like what? Yeah, it's like I ain't even close. I can't. I'm going like 3 laps down out here with these guys, and so you quickly figure out it's like, okay, well, it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. I'm going to have to go out and spend 15 or 20,000, and that was kind of the reality of where that was for what it was at the time, the entry level. That's kind of the low class there where you get into the sport. And, I'm thinking, man, there's got to be a better way to do it than this. And like you said, not knocking any other class because they're all great and they all have to be there in order for the sport to go around. But this class has a really good place in the sport. So thinking about that, I think the biggest struggle, because there was a time when the Mustangs or the front wheel drives, any of those, they were more affordable than they are now. And so the struggle being with a new class, how do you keep it there? That's such a tough thing with racers because at the end of the day, racers are racers, and they're always not. I'm not saying anything bad. You go to Dale Jr. Download, you listen to those old guys, man. They talk about they're going to find anything, and so
get a little bit faster,
just a little faster, man. That's what they're all looking for, and that's part of the greatness of racing, right? But for a class like this, how do you keep it in check, and how do you try to keep it affordable? That's got to be just a huge struggle.
This is where he like I talk to people a lot, and he's had a lot of patience. Dylan, our tech guy, literally, I mean,
he's serious,
very serious. I found that out my first week at Rockcastle. I mean, and this is honest. We asked him if he would be the tech guy. Everybody, and it was hard to find somebody outside of the racing community with the knowledge of the racing community. So, yeah, Dylan knows pretty much everybody. He does not show favoritism. My first week at Rockcastle, I couldn't find a factory bash bar, and for the rear, and he literally looked at my bumper and he said, "You need to have that fixed next week, or it's not coming off the trailer." Yeah. I was like, this is what we need. Yeah. So it was fixed the next week. He knows, he knows what the max gear is. He knows how to check gear rotations. He knows, coil springs, intake manifolds, this, that, the other. He knows the rules from top to bottom. A lot of people will come to him or me or Brad, and thankfully, if Dylan spots something, he gives you the chance to fix it. If you can't fix it, that's just what it is. And the tracks have really had his back on it. Like if he calls something the way he calls it, that's just how it's been. And he's been on top of it. Brad's been on top of it with, as far as software to check for tuning. And I mean, he's got that out of his pocket. He's got the setup, and Dylan it's physical labor. I didn't think there was, a whole lot of physical labor in tech. And I guess, there is. They were crawling up under these things. Top three, we went to the infield, Dylan, and the track official there was crawling up and under the things and in and out and checking up and under the hood, under the trunk. And the cool thing is, when we were at Rock Castle, another racer that hadn't raced down there, he was like, well, the way we do it here is if you're on the lead lap and the winner wins, we're allowed to look over his car with the track official with us. I was like, we have no problem with that. The track official had no problem with that. And I think that's good.
It opens it up, puts it in front of everybody. We may have missed something. We're not perfect. We checked 17 cars the first night in, 30 minutes. I mean, something could be overlooked. So if you give anybody on that lead lap the opportunity to look at the winning car, it clears everybody.
It gives them ease of mind. Oh, I look just as good as the tech guy did. Yeah.
Dylan has a tech sheet that we made out for him, and it's very detailed. And what he's looking for, it is labeled by the car, the driver, every aspect of that car he's looking for, from suspension to engine. Safety is number one. Absolute number one on the list. If your car doesn't pass our safety standards, we don't need to go any farther. That's a big deal. But he goes through his list, he checks, he contacts me 3 times a week, during the work week, stuff that he's done research on, he's talked to people, all over. We do have the software in the works. We've had some hiccups with that. It's not the simplest thing ever.
No, I imagine not. Yeah.
We are working on it. We do have that in the works now. I think we're going to be okay. It's just the biggest part. We have to do tech, and we have to do tech every single week. The 1 week you don't do tech and somebody sees it, well, there you go. It has to be religiously done every single week, and it has to be seen in front of everyone.
Yeah.
And I think that's key. You've gotta stick with your rules. It's got, no favoritism, no bias. Your rules and your tech and all that. And if you're straight up and honest with everybody, and I like that. If you're on the lead lap, you get to look at the winner's car, check everything with the official. I think that's a great idea. And it just takes out the gray area and makes everybody on an even playing field.
Well, not just that. When people when they're in the stands and they're like, well, man, tech is literally teching. Like, it makes them feel like, well, if those guys are legal and this racing is this tight, I'm going to buy a car. And then boom, the sport's growing,
Right.
And that's what we want. We want to show people, you can get into a race car. You can race with us.
We've had 4 wide racing multiple laps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
It's scary, man. Those things are wide. They're wide. They're big, fat Mustangs. Is what they are. They're big 4-door fat Mustangs. They're wider than they look. Like
4 wide is a crowd on the racetrack. I promise you.
Yeah.
That Crown Vic's about like 3 times the size of Tyler's little front wheel drive.
It was a big jump for both of us. I hopped in the thing, was scared to death the first night. I had no idea what we were about to do.
Yeah. I know.
My 11-year-old
I saw Tyler a couple times come off turn 2 there on the outside. I don't know if they were 3 or 4 wide, but oh man, it was getting hairy there, man. I'll tell you what, it's just you got to trust who's underneath you. You're gonna back out of that thing, one or the other. So,
when you're in a fast car, you get that tingling in your stomach when you stomp the gas. Yeah. Well, you don't necessarily get that with these, but when you're 4 wide and you're sliding into the turn, you definitely get that.
Yeah. Probably you ain't got that in your stomach, but I guess your butthole's puckered.
Yeah, at least.
I didn't know whether to puke or poop, buddy, when we was 4 wide.
Yeah, puke or poop.
Somebody
One of the two,
checked Tyler's race suit. I believe he fudged his Huggies.
Yeah.
My 11-year-old son was one of the first ones to attempt to go 4 wide at Rock Castle, and I almost puked and pooped at the same time. I didn't know what to do. He scared me to death.
That's another thing. Like, his son was racing karts, and I liked going to watch, but I couldn't. Like, I would get nervous for the kids, and I feel a lot better, with kids in a roll cage. Something to protect them.
Sure.
And,
yeah.
I mean, his son, he's 10 foot tall and bulletproof, buddy. He's small, but first drivers meeting for the Vicks at Rock Castle. He, Dwayne, and he was like, "I want you guys to know that this guy's young, but he don't want you guys to race him like he's young."
Yeah.
And I mean, just to know that he's that young. At 11 years old, there's no way I would hop in a 4,000 pound car with grown men that's been doing this, and race with them. I couldn't pay me.
No, I'd be scared to death.
He jumped in that car and he said, "Hey, Dad, watch this." Go 4
Buddy,
wide.
he get those eyes, and like he started the heat race a couple of weeks ago, and I was outside of him, and I look over at him, and he just gives me a glance, and then gets back, and I'm like, "Man, I don't know if I like this coal or not." I didn't know if he was going to hit me or go or what, But he's good. He really is.
But that's another cool aspect of this sport and this particular class is, week in and week out, you have people that sit in those stands every single week. Mm-hmm. Never get the opportunity to even get their feet on that dirt.
Right.
But with this class, it's absolutely feasible.
Sure,
it's 100%. There's people over there that have dreams that want to be on that racetrack, and it gives them the opportunity. Hey, I can do this.
Yeah.
I don't have to have a big team or a big shop or any of that. It doesn't take it. We were talking earlier, and we've literally ran 3 races on the same tank of fuel.
Yeah, I've still got a quarter tank in my
big
bag.
That's awesome. I mean, it really is, because that's because that was the cool thing. That's the cool thing about a stock car too. I mean, like, with no bad luck, you change the oil every 3 weeks, maybe, whatever. I don't know. What do you guys do on oil changes? What I mean,
I try to change mine 3 to 4 depending on track and distance. If it's really dusty. I want to change every 3. If you get by us a few drier nights, or packier nights, about 4 races. I mean, we're dealing with 200,000 mile cars, so I'm not trying to push the limits.
The way I try to keep it in my head is 40 miles. I try to add up how big the track is and how many laps I run, and 40 miles, I'll change the oil. So that's normally about 3 races.
And we have an odometer, so we're able to do that too.
Yeah,
we got my car still got air conditioner. The other night, man, it was hot in lineups. AC come on, had a good breeze going.
That's awesome, man. It really is. I mean, it is, though. It's cool, because another aspect of the race is not just nothing stock about a stock car. Yeah, that's true, unless we're talking Crown Vics, Michael Gadd says. But
they're pretty stock.
They're so another big thing with the rules, I've had 2 or 3 people ask me, "Well, what can you do?" And the easiest way I can explain it is you can do nothing performance. You can change the gear up to 373s, and you can do no gutting. That's no gutting.
Just the doors. I will allow you to cut 4 doors just to fit the cage.
You cut the doors.
Other than that,
the doors are cut, the interior's out, and the windows are out. You got a good solid roll cage, a good seat and safety area, safety straps, and that's it. You raise the hood on any of our cars, and they look like the police were very hard on them.
I swear mine had a bird nest in the air filter for the first 3 practices that I did not know about.
Just slowing that airflow down, man. That ain't what you want. And so, well, I mean, but talking about the maintenance stuff too, the oil change and all that stuff, I mean, that's a big help too, because the maintenance time, and because a lot of people think about the cost, what a lot of people don't realize is the amount of time a lot of times it takes to be in racing, to have a race car. With this class, I imagine the time that you have to spend, like I said, now no bad luck, you go out and tear the wall down, that's a different story, or somebody helps you tear the wall down. But in theory, it wouldn't be near as much maintenance time on that.
I tore the wall down in the heat race. Barry Carrier busted a transmission line, and I slipped all over it. Tore the wall down, the car would turn, and this thing hit like a champ, man. I know why they use it for cop cars, because I hit the wall, kept her trimmed, and it was like never happened. But I ended up, I broke a tie rod. That's $21, and literally put a few scuffs of wall on it. So I just touched her up.
The maintenance part of it is super simple. If you can't go to AutoZone, O'Reilly's,
Rock
Advanced Auto Parts, or Rock Auto, it doesn't belong on the race car. So it's fairly expensive,
Oh yeah.
And that's the hardest thing, like you guys said. Like I'm a racer, he's a racer. You've raced. If you can get by with something, you're going to get by with something. Mm-hmm. But that's the reason we've been so hard on the tech, because we want it to be 100% stock. And Dylan, he busts his hind end, man, to make sure that these cars are all equal. If you've got 10 to 15 cars on the track, all of them weigh 4,000 pounds. All of them got 250 horsepower or whatever they're rated for. All of them got the same spark plugs, the same ignition, the same air box, the same wheels and tires. You're going to have a different winner a lot of those times.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, and I think that's another really good thing that you guys are doing with this is having you're doing your own tech for the Crown Vic class with Dylan. He's handling that aspect for the Crown Vic class. So in my mind, it really, honestly, it's a great thing, because it takes the pressure off of the racetracks, which I feel like is a really good thing. Because here's the thing: at the end of the day, guys, and this is the truth. You're race car drivers. You've been around this sport like we have for a long time. You know how this thing goes. Everybody wants tech. Everybody wants to be tech. They want these cars gone through until they get DQ'd, and then you've never seen anybody that's ever been DQ'd over anything. It's like, man, thank you guys for DQing me. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys. It means the world to me. No, it doesn't work that way. So there's a lot of pressure on these racetracks, because they know, look, and you think about this as any business. It's a tough thing. It's easy to sit in the grandstands, or it's easy to stand in the pits and say, well, tracks should do this, they should do that. But I think about my business. If I had someone for 2 weeks going on and just berating me on Facebook about how crappy, how big of a piece of garbage I was, that's what a track's going to go through, though, when they go to DQ someone. So having a third party, having someone else do that and take that pressure off of them, I feel like is maybe the best thing of it all.
Yeah, we had no idea until we were on this side of that. Yeah. And a few weeks ago at the racetrack, there was some issues came up, and lots of tension, lots of stuff. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Like, I broke, like I was like, guys, I'm sorry. I don't know, but we're new at this. We're trying. Yeah. But now I have a new respect for, track, knowing what they're going through, because now we're dealing with it, and it's constant flow. It's constant. Like I can't race for my pit stall being full of questions constantly. They bypass poor Dylan and come straight to me, and I'm like, guys, I have a tech guy floating out here in a bright orange shirt. Go talk to him. Well, they don't like what Dylan had to say, so I'm going to talk to you. Well, I'm going to refer you right back to my tech man. That's why we have it. Well, I'm going to talk to track officials. That's fine. They're going to refer you right back to my tech man. It's simple as that. But yeah, I have a new respect for that. That they definitely have a lot on their shoulders. Yeah. So we tried to ease some of that by bringing our own guy in, which so far, we couldn't have got any luckier with that.
And another thing that we were thinking about, because one person can't be three places at once, and I've talked to a lot of guys that race at Florence, and they're like, the guy that helps with the Crown Vic's tech up there, spot on. And we were like, well, and Florence, we all know they jump out early in the year. They start racing normally a week to a month before anybody. And, I was thinking, well, with that tech guy up there and Dylan kind of floating back and forth from Richmond and Rockcastle. And fortunately, Bill and Dwayne and Kevin, their schedules just mesh. I mean, they work that out perfect. When Vic's not racing this track, they'll be at another track. And when they're, it worked perfect. So if you've got a Crown Vic, you don't have to say, well, I really would like to race here, but if I do, I'm going to lose these points. And you bounce back and forth. You get the best of both worlds. You can bounce one weekend at Rockcastle, one weekend at Florence, and then, Richmond's running this weekend. We're going to bounce it there. But like he said, if I'll just be honest with you, if I owned any track in this state, it would be a failure. It would be a failure. I was thinking about that. I was literally laying in the bed the other night, and I was like, how in the hell do these tracks stay open with the constant criticism? Every track. I've seen criticism from a comment, whether it be a comment in person or a comment on social media.
Yeah.
Every track in the state has had criticism. Every owner and promoter in the state has to get up Monday through Friday and Saturday morning and work the track, whether it's raining, whether it's sun shining 100 degrees. It's a different kind of business, and it takes a special love to do what they do, regardless of what track it is.
Yeah,
it sure does.
It does, and the thing about it is, it's like no matter which way you go, you're going to get criticized. You think about it in almost every topic. Talking about rainouts, we all hate rainouts. I guarantee no one worse than a promoter or a track owner. If they call too early, they called it too early. If they get everybody there and then they call it then, well, now there's a firestorm about that.
Come out here.
Yeah. If it's about tech, it's they won't tech, and then if they are teching and somebody gets DQ'd, well, they're a bunch of crooks and they just wanted to take my money and they just didn't want to see me win. It's like there's so many of those ways in which they can't win.
Yeah, you're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't.
And you literally have to, if you promote a racetrack or you own a racetrack or a series or anything, you're literally doing it for the love of it. Because, there's certain nights like this past weekend, all these tracks raining off. Luckily, Thunder Mountain got it in on Sunday, and thanks to Crazy John, I watched his live, man, because I couldn't be there, But all those tracks, not only were they rained out, fans see it as, man, we don't get to see no rain. They rained out. They called it too early. Those guys are taking food out of their mouths that week and just taking it on the chin, picking up and going next week and trying to recuperate a little bit. Because it's not just, it's not just a hobby to them. A lot of them, it's their income,
Sure. Yeah. Or there's a mortgage on the line, and there's a lot that goes into this for all these people, and so it's tough. I've always thought, and I'm talking perfect world here, and I know this is one of those things that's a lot easier said than done, because who you going to get to do it? And I think if we could have something like what you guys are doing for all of our classes, where it's sort of, I've thought this for a while, like UMP but just for our little area, where you take it out of the hands of the track and you take the pressure off them and all that. But again, it's a lot easier to say than done, because I don't know who in the world could orchestrate something like that. But
like those guys, for instance, the compact series, SCDRA and Queen City Compacts and stuff. Those guys travel you got Gibson guys and Flume and all these big name 4-cylinder guys that they're driving 10 and 11 hours chasing these series, and these series are putting on these shows in different states. I don't see how they do it, man. I go from Rockcastle County to Madison County. Every now and again, I go up to Florence and I go, south to Thunder Mountain, and I'm beat.
We're 2 hours at the mountain from
Yeah.
A to
Yeah.
I can't do that.
farthest we go.
No, I couldn't do it either, and I don't think we need a series, but more like I guess a sanctioning body would be a cool thing. I'm dreaming here. I'm dreaming
Yeah.
because I don't think
Oh,
it's
that'd be
even
awesome. Every
possible.
class.
But yeah, it would be cool. Well, and a lot of it is that's why I think it's so important what you guys are doing as far as keeping these things in shape, because part of the problem is some of these classes, and you guys know this is true, some of these classes get in such bad shape to where the cars are so far away from the rule book to where now and a lot of it's inherited. It's like somebody takes over a track or that whatever this you start now all of a sudden you decide you're going to open up a rule book and you're going to start taking cars. Well, guess what? You get too far into it, you ain't going to have a class. So
and I've seen a video the other day of Kenny Schrader races a modified, and they interviewed him, and he was like, "These cars are out of hand." He said, and it's not one person's fault for that. It's what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
It takes the whole bunch to get it out of shape.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Sure. Yeah, it does. So, but well, let's talk about one other thing. I'll let you guys go. But this coming weekend, there at Richmond Raceway, the debut of the Crown Vic class there. I remember back in the day, Road Hogs at Richmond. You had Donnie Kaufman on the microphone back then, and he'd go, yeah, and man, just whoop it, calling them in.
He would call them in like the Arkansas people did Calipari.
Yeah, about the same. Yeah, just good memories though, man. I'll never forget it. But I think this Crown Vic class at Richmond. And it was the same way in four cylinders. Like, even in four cylinders at Richmond was one class that even if you didn't have enough there to keep up other places, you could at Richmond. Like, you could have a lot of fun.
Yeah, I like to think of it as the equalizer racetrack.
Yeah, it really is.
And all that doesn't necessarily matter.
Yeah,
I think it's gonna bring back a lot of memories for a lot of people that know Richmond back in the day for the Road Hog class. It's going to be fun. So I'm excited.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. Like there was Road Hogs when we were really young, that there were literally 305 Cutlasses and 350 Chevelles, and they kick the windows out and throw a roll cage in the race. Back when Road Hogs were the original Road Hogs, and this is about as close as you're going to get. It
is
200 I don't know. They say 250 when they're new. I bet they don't make 215 now. No. But you got 215 horsepower. You got open manifold. You got 4,000 pounds. You get 15 cars out there, and they're all like that. It's the slowest, best racing you're going to watch.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it, man. I guess that is true.
Everybody.
Yeah, well, it is. Everybody's equal, and it's just good, hard stock car racing. It remind you of the good old days. So, and I think it's just going to bring back a lot of memories, like you said there at Richmond, and really looking forward to it. So, well, guys, I really appreciate you all joining us on here. I feel like it's been a good conversation. Maybe there's somebody listening that'll decide to go out and buy a Crown Vic. Go to Copart, I don't know, Gov Deals.
You can get them anywhere.
Yeah, they're really everywhere. Everywhere.
Marketplace, I don't know.
The police auctions, I don't know if they still have those. I'm sure they do. You could get them anywhere, or old Aunt Myrtle might have one in the field.
You can check a lot of demo derby sites too. A lot of guys demo derby those cars. They'll have extra sitting around for parts. That's actually where my son's car came from, was a demo derby guy. I had one.
Maybe Greg Miller will buy a Crown Vic car and make it the dirt racing and the Bluegrass Live car. Man, you just never know.
I mean, we get that baby wrapped and big number 9 on there and a 5 on the other side. Josh said J5.
If you're saving all that money getting one of these Crown Vics, you got that extra in your pocket to go to Victor and say, "Hey, baby, put a wrap on it."
Yeah, throw a wrap on it, make it look good.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. So, yep. All right, guys. Well, we'll see you Saturday at Richmond. Looking forward to it. I think it'll be a lot of fun. Like I said, thank you guys a bunch for coming on here.
Thank you all for having me.
See you, bud.
See you, bud. All right, Tyler Kelley, Brad Fields on here. That was a really good conversation. I mean, honestly, just about that class and just the ins and outs of it, and kind of gives everybody a good understanding of what it is and what they're trying to do. And I think what they're doing is just it's a really good thing. Honestly, it is.
Yeah, and like you said, I mean, really bringing back the road hog feel. With the side by side beating and banging racing, just good hard racing, and that's what the fans want to watch. And
yeah, it is.
You know, it's exciting, and just glad to see those cars, you know, make it to our tracks down here, and hopefully we'll continue, you know, to be at all of our local tracks.
Yeah, I think so. Like I said, you know, you've got a really good start on them with Lake Cumberland, Rockcastle, Richmond, Florence. But I really think it could be one of those classes that here with just in a few short years, it will give people that opportunity to be in racing. Maybe they've been in the grandstands their whole lives, and give them the opportunity to finally get out there. Someone like you, Wes, who's had a dream to be on the racetrack. And honest to goodness, if there's any way to do it first time, it's just a really good way to go about it.
Right.
So you never know.
That'd be fun. I wouldn't turn down a Crown Vic ride. You know,
yeah.
I think it'd be fun.
I know you would. No, it would be fun. All right, well, let's talk real quick about let's do this Keltner Contracting Weekend Outlook. We appreciate our Keltner Contracting for sponsoring our Weekend Outlook. HVAC needs, I think they do what do you call it, man? I'm really on struggle bus here. Duct cleaning, yeah. Clean your ducts and all that good stuff. So they'll take care of you for any of that. So give them a call. Friday, May 10th, 4-cylinder Fury, our Friday night track here in the Bluegrass State. Mountain Motor Complex doing the 4-cylinder Fury this coming Friday night. So go over there, check them out. Go to Mountain Motor Complex on Facebook and check out their videos. They're always a lot of fun to watch. But yeah, check them out this Friday, 4-cylinder Fury. And then another big Saturday, Saturday, May 11th, this coming Saturday, a lot coming up here. Mini Stock Madness at Lake Cumberland Speedway. So it's a big weekend for the front wheel drives this weekend.
Good to see that.
Yeah, Mini Stock Madness at Lake Cumberland Speedway. 2,000 to win, I think, for crates.
1,000 to win modifieds.
Yeah.
500 to win hobby stocks.
So,
yeah.
What are they paying 4-cylinders? I don't remember. I had it in my head and I forgot. Anyway, it's
at Lake Cumberland.
Yeah,
it's 1,500 to win.
1,500. That's what I was thinking. So that's a big payday, man, for the front wheel drive class. So. Also, Saturday night, regular show at 191 Speedway. Dollar days again at Florence. So you can dollar beers, dollar hot dogs, dollar all kinds of stuff from the concession stand there at Florence Speedway. That's a big hit there at Florence, those dollar days. They do it like twice a month, it seems like.
Yeah,
I want to go to dollar days. Just seems like a whole lot of fun. I've never been to dollar days, but it seems like an event. Dollar beers. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
What do you get for $1 though? I wonder. Is it like a
I don't know.
pack of Virginia Slims?
4 ounces of beer,
or just a Virginia Slim? Yeah, you get like a Virginia Slim and a shot of beer. I don't know. Who knows?
And a hot dog.
Yeah, and a hot dog. Be good. Yeah. So, anyways, go check them out. I think it is a whole can of beer you get. I'm not sure.
So I just was being silly because
you probably don't get a Virginia Slim either, unfortunately. But do the best we can.
You can find them in the parking lot.
Yeah. Oh man! All right, Billy, we've been on here too long. Billy Hutchinson Memorial at Willard Speedway. That's always a big event for him.
Yeah.
There, honoring Billy Hutchinson, that modified special up there, so go check them out at Willard Speedway. I think for cars that this might be their opening event. I could be wrong about that too, though. I'm not sure. I think they had like a side-by-side race over there, but maybe for cars they haven't run yet.
I don't think they have. I think they got rained out.
They
their
did.
season opener.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. So big weekend ahead of us.
Yeah.
Also got
a lot of racing.
We've also got racing. We're supposed to have racing tonight at Spoon River, and then for the flow racing.
Yeah, it's been opening night of Castro. I sent you that big list today. You know, got a lot going on in the land of Lincoln. You're supposed to have, let's see, Spoon River tonight, Lincoln tomorrow, and then Farmer City and Fairbury Friday and Saturday. So the first 2 nights was Castro flow racing, and then the next 2 was Lucas Oil. So just a cool deal. Also, I talked to Blake Brown today. He's headed up to run the modified for 3 nights up there in Illinois. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Good luck to him this weekend. Gotta give a upright shout out. Scott Robertson, happy birthday the other day. He's always wanting us to give a upright shout out. So we thank all of our buddies in the upright racing group.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's go to the Absolute Seamless Gutters hotline real quick here. We've got our good buddy Greg Miller on the hotline. Greg, what's happening, buddy? We know we can rely on you. I told you that.
Yeah, I know. You told me you was wondering why I hadn't called in a while, so I figured I might as well call tonight. But I'll just riding around up here, playing truck driver and fighting the rain and weather. So
where are you at right
Where's your location at?
I'm not too far north of y'all. I'm up here on I-71 and just about LaGrange, where some of my family members have spent some time in the past. But
yeah. Well, if you're in LaGrange, you're pretty good ways from me and Josh too.
Yeah. Well, I started my day up next to Canada, up there around Port Huron, Michigan. So.
Oh man.
So I'm making pretty good tracks today. So.
Well, good.
I enjoyed listening to them boys talk about them Crown Vics. And I ain't lying. I could probably built 5 or 6 of them for what I've spent on this super stock. Not that I'm complaining. I love my super stock racing, but I think I'm definitely going to have to get one at some point because I ain't driving my super stock. I got somebody a little younger and probably a lot better than me driving it. So I figure, hell, he can't have all the fun. So maybe I'll just get me a super stock. Me and the crew chief, Adrian Smith, we'll just take turns driving
the Crown Vic. Yeah,
eventually. Yeah.
Well, I want to be putting that backup car in that. I want to be in the super stock.
Yeah, if you get one, you might as well have 2. Yeah.
Well, I've got 2 super stocks. Just only one's got a motor in it, and the other one needs to go somewhere. Somebody needs to buy it from me.
That way you could buy you a Crown Vic with that money you make on the super stock.
Yeah.
Well, I hadn't planned on that, Wes. That's a hell of an idea.
Yeah.
I'm smarter than I look.
Put it up on Marketplace for sale or trade. Well, that's what I say about myself, but that don't take much. So, we did get to take the super stock and test it this weekend over at Thunder Mountain. Big shout out to them they didn't even run us, but they let us come up and bring it there after the show got in Sunday and test it. So,
that's good.
Fixed one issue from Richmond and figured out, at least we figured out the other issue was the carburetor. So hopefully that'll be fixed this coming weekend. We're going to try our luck over at 191.
Yeah.
To support them boys a little bit. So.
That'll be good.
Yeah.
It's a pretty car. I know we got to see you at Richmond a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's you can't go wrong with blue and orange. I mean,
no.
You just can't.
No, definitely not.
The only reason I got a couple of years back when I was putting the body on the first car or whatever, Brian Abner's a big Pulaski County guy at football, and their colors are maroon, and I think he even does their announcing for them at their football games as well.
Yeah.
But my wife's uncle is a assistant coach at Southwestern, which is Pulaski's biggest rival, and their colors are blue and orange. So I actually just did it to aggravate Brian.
Oh, okay.
I turned out to like the colors.
It just kind of stuck.
Yeah, and the number's my anniversary, so you know.
Right. Yeah, you got to put that on there.
I got you.
Yeah, make the wife happy anyway.
Absolutely,
Right.
You better. Yes, for sure. You've got a good one, so you better.
Well, we'll see.
You better make her happy.
Yeah, I can't complain. I wouldn't take $1 million for her, and I wouldn't give you 5 cents for another and just like her.
Yeah, that's right. I know.
She is pretty awesome though. She's pretty awesome. So.
Yes, she is.
Supports my crazy ideas. So
well, that's a good thing, buddy.
Y'all guys have a good night. Maybe we'll see y'all at a track somewhere this weekend. If not, I'm sure we will soon again.
Yeah, thanks, buddy. Sounds good.
Sounds good.
See you. We'll see you at the races sometime soon.
See y'all.
We can count on Greg Miller, if nothing else.
Always.
Greg Miller will call the hotline. I told him last week, I said nobody else would call it. Somebody's got to call the Absolute Seamless Gutters hotline. We need to talk to somebody. So he came in there for us right at the end of the show. Appreciate
He's
him.
drove all over the country today. Sounds
Yeah.
like he started up around Canada, and he's
Yeah.
back in the great state of Kentucky. So
He has, yeah.
you
Can't beat
gotta
him
make
either.
that money. No,
Yeah,
you can't beat him. He's a good one.
He's a good dude and big. He supports us and everything we do, and really
Sure
appreciate
does.
him and everybody else out there. So, all right, DirtmanDiecast.com steak dinner pick'em challenge. It's still 2-0, man. I think we already had like 15 points apiece.
Oh, we
by this
did
point
by
last
this
year.
time. Yeah.
What's going on? Rainouts and just bad luck, man. Chalk
Just
it up to
bad
bad luck, man. We blew a couple motors and just it just hadn't been our year so far. But
Lost the right
Yeah.
front.
yeah, it's been rough. All right, let's do this. The big debut of Crown Vics at Richmond. Closest thing we're ever going to get to Roadhogs, folks. So let's pick the winners this weekend at Richmond in the Crown Vic class. Since let's see, since you're still up 2-0, you know what, Wes? Last week I took first pick. I'm gonna be nice here tonight. I'm gonna give you first pick here, here for the Crown Vics at Richmond, and then I'll get first pick on the next one.
Yeah, I figured you would do that, but I appreciate you letting me take first pick.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to have to go with our old buddy Brad Fields, and he's also going to take caution's $50, and he's going to get the win on Saturday night.
Yeah, that's a good pick. It really is. Well, I'm going to gamble on mine.
Okay.
Because this, you got Florence running them too, Lake Cumberland's running, Crown Vics. So you're splitting them between 3 tracks, so it's really going to come down to figuring out who's going to be where.
Yeah.
But just in case he decides to show up, now they may go to Florence or they may go somewhere up there in Indiana. No, you know what? I changed my mind. I ain't gonna do it. I think they'll stay up there, and I think they'll stay up north. So
he talked himself out.
You know what? I talked myself out of it. I'm gonna go with Tyler Kelley. I don't know, man. That's not a good choice, I'm sure, because if you were, well, the reason I say that is you remember You remember the last time I picked Tyler Kelley? What happened?
Let's see.
Front-wheel drive.
Did he lose? He lost a tire or something. Lost a wheel.
It was the final lap. He had like a half-track lead on the whole field. Wouldn't let off the stupid thing. I was yelling at him to whoa up. You got him licked. He's still driving it like it's the first lap, and he goes in and loses a wheel.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I think he lost me the steak dinner pick'em challenge that first year. I'm blaming him. It was a terrible performance there, but he's gonna redeem himself.
Well,
and get the win. This is gonna happen. Right. Richmond. Here we go.
Okay.
Mini stocks at Lake Cumberland.
Okay.
1,500 to win. Man, that's a big payday for those guys.
It sure is, and they They're gonna come out of the woodwork for that one.
Yeah, they will. You know they will. So again, just kind of a struggle to know who all is going to be there. I'm going to go with Dustin Duncan.
Okay.
To pick up that $1,500 there. You know, he doesn't. There was a time he absolutely dominated that class. Like he won every race he showed up to. Seemed like
It didn't matter where he went.
Yeah.
I mean across the region.
Corey Cochran.
Corey Cochran.
You know what? Let's go to the Absolute Seamless Gutters hotline, Wes. You pick yours right after this. Let's talk to our good buddy Corey Cochran calling in the Absolute Seamless Gutters hotline. What's up, Corey?
Hey, what's going on, buddies? Hey, I know y'all are doing your picks, and I hate to interrupt you. I didn't mean to interrupt your guys' picks for the weekend.
Oh, you're good, man. You ain't interrupted nothing.
Well, I just had a thought hit my head, and I just had to share it with you guys.
All right.
So you've been talking about the Crown Vic class.
Yeah.
And maybe I should get with Brad and Tyler on this. But can we get, for their tech guy, can we get him a Crown Vic and have it wrapped up just like a police cruiser and have him a police uniform? And that way, if somebody fails tech or he finds something on their car that's not supposed to be there, he can pull up to their pit stall, lights blaring,
sirens,
and get out and write them a ticket.
Yeah. I think that's a good idea. I think he's got to have the sirens going. He's got to hold them at gunpoint. I mean, it's got to be the whole 9 yards if we're going to do that.
And the best would have been the first night out of the box, and he told Tyler, he said, "Get that fixed, get that bumper fixed before it comes to the track next week."
That's exactly
yeah. He can lead the pace lap for the cars. He can pull out on the track and pull somebody over right there on the track. There's all kinds of the opportunities are endless here.
Yeah, I like it. I really do. He could pull the pit maneuver, and nobody could get mad about it. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like he put somebody in the wall. Well, he's the law. You know, it don't.
Yeah.
matter.
What are they going to do?
Because he is Officer Dylan Jones. I like it. I really do.
I just thought I'd run that idea by you guys and see if y'all thought I was crazy or not.
Well, that would definitely bring some extra entertainment to the tracks on Saturday night.
It definitely would. So,
well, maybe I'll have to talk to Brad and see if they can't get something worked out. Well,
I'd say give him a call. He'll probably put it in motion. I'd say, buddy. You get any of these other big ideas? Give us a call. We take all the good ideas we can get.
I will. I'll be thinking. I'll be wearing my thinking cap.
Okay.
Sounds good. Sounds good,
See
buddy.
you guys.
Thank you.
See you, buddy.
All right. Corey Cochran coming in late with the man.
A big idea.
Yeah, I'm telling you. I like it. All right, your pick, Wes.
All right. Okay. So I'm gonna pick Eric Parton.
Okay.
We had him on the show last week.
Yep.
And he runs really, really good at Lake Cumberland, and that's my pick. He's gonna take a checkers and $1,500 back to the Berg.
That's a good one. Of course. I told him on here last week he's going to tell me all the secrets I was going to beat so I could beat him. I couldn't beat him. Man, he's got them things. Him and Raymond Fuson, they're big buddies.
Oh yeah.
Raymond's another one. Him out there on the table.
Well, Raymond Fuson, Marty Gilley. I mean, listen, that class any given night, and like I said, they're fun to watch, and there's a lot of talent in that class across the state. So, and then I don't know if you might get some of those guys out of the northern Kentucky, the Florence area may come down and run. That's $1,500. That's a good payday.
Oh, it is for sure. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm looking. I'd say good turnout.
Yeah.
There at Lake Cumberland.
I think so for sure. So you never know who will show up, and it's going to be a good weekend. Can't wait. A lot of big events going on here, so can't wait. Hopefully it'll be sun shining and a good day for it on Saturday. So we will see everyone at the races. Hopefully. Here we go.
Hope so.
No more rain.
No more rain. See y'all.
See y'all.